What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is Le Mans Ultimate LMP2 Challenge at Sebring, a 20-minute online race. This time I'm doing things a little bit different because I didn't commentate this race. There's no stream of consciousness randomly running throughout, but instead this time I'm going to have to go ahead and interject throughout the race because this race ended up being just unhinged in multiple different ways, and that's all there is to it. There is plot twists all over the place in this race, which meant that I just had to make a video out of it because I think you guys are really going to like this one. So let the festivities begin.
Green flag.
I gotta say, I really like the fact that cold tires and cold brakes actually does something in this game. If only all the other drivers understood that, that would be great, but makes for fun viewing. Technically, we improved our position from the start on the first lap, which did not seem like that should happen because I'm pretty sure like 50 cars wrecked in front of me at one point. So I guess I'll take that as a win. I'm not really sure what happened there. I feel like I kind of dive bombed that guy a little bit, but it wasn't really particularly egregious, and it looked like he had space and he had it covered. So I don't know if maybe the contact there was a little bit more firm than it looked on my end in terms of the server, but unfortunately that guy ended up spinning out with my very uncharacteristic dive bomb. I never outbrake people. That's not my thing, but hey, we're living in uncharted territory here. Yeah, I told you this race had plot twists. Somehow, first and second place, despite being separated by several seconds at the time, ended up wrecking in the same corner on the same lap, thus handing the positions on over, and somehow we find ourselves in second place at this stage. I don't know how this happened. It will forever remain a mystery unless one of those two drivers ends up in the comment section to fill us in. As we cross the line, I see that I was a second and a half faster that last lap over the car in front of me, who's now the leader. And I kind of figured, I got the fast guy who's behind me. He's probably faster than I am, like by 1.5 miles, so I really don't need to fight him. And maybe if that guy gets through, you know, he can go ahead and mix things up for me with that guy in front of me, and then I can make an easy pass on him and get second place and, you know, call it a good day. I actually tried letting the fast guy behind me through, which is why if you look at the pedal inputs, you'll see I pumped the brakes a little bit, trying to send the signal, hey, just go ahead and pass me. Like, you're way faster. I don't need to hold you up. You don't need to hold me up. Like, just go ahead and take the position. But unfortunately, I don't think he got the message, and therefore he didn't send it up the inside like I was hoping he would. It's one of those times I was actually hoping to get dive bombed, and unfortunately, he didn't. Oh, so now he dive bombs. Not sure if the fast guy had anything to do with it, but all of a sudden, hey, the door to second place is wide open. And then that happened. And it's about this point in the race where my brain finally caught up and processed everything and realized, oh, hey, wait a minute, and decided this would be a good time to enter the zone, which is what happened here. This is the best part of sim racing for me, where you get these moments where the brain just shuts up and the ADD turns off, and all of a sudden, like, I'm actually focused on one specific task to, like, the greatest mind power that I have. That was basically what was going on here at this stage, because this was a race, and I was going to win this race. I apologize if that sounds cocky, but it's one of those things where when you're feeling the confidence, you're feeling your confidence. We got 5 minutes left. We've whittled the lead down to 7/10 of a second. There is no way I am not winning this race at this point. It's one of those things like when you're driving like above your own abilities and you know it and you're just like not processing anything, just like you've entered the zone. You just have that level of confidence, and that was going on here. Where if I get anywhere close to that guy, I am taking his lunch money 100%, and there's nothing he can do about it. We've well and truly caught up. We're on the guy's gearbox at this point. And from my mindset is we're catching this guy, we're driving well, we're feeling well, we got the confidence. I don't need to force it. I don't need to try to make a move that's less than 100% because I know I can take this guy's lunch money into and out of the hairpin based upon what I've been seeing. I can tell that he's on the limit of himself, for one reason or the other. Maybe he's got, oh, hey, this guy's closing in really quickly. I'm in the lead, like with 3 minutes left. Is the jig up, or can I somehow hold on to this? Like, as far as I'm concerned at this point, he's in the bad position being in first, and I'm in a perfect position. So let's go ahead and capitalize on that. That was a straight up terrible pass. What happened here is I'm new to triple screens, and I'm also new to the whole radar thing because I really kind of don't like that whole thing, but that's a different story for a different time. And I was trying to decide, as the guy went wide in the corner, do I look at the car and like, where's he at? Or do I look at the radar and just like trust that thing? Or like, do I just drive my own car and pretend that he doesn't even exist and take my own line? But then what happens when, we do the thing where there's the crossover and we inevitably come into contact at the same time? Like, my brain kind of overheated on this one, and that's why it was so incredibly clumsy. Whereas like, what are we doing here? And that's the story of how I got my first win in Le Mans Ultimate. After this race, the replay didn't save because the game actually froze up on the results screen. So there was just one more plot twist in there, which is why, unfortunately, all the shenaniganry and carnage will have to remain a mystery forever and ever, which is actually probably the saddest part of the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned. I do love me some carnage. So, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.